but there's a lot that we can dive into when we're talking about purpose, especially because we tend to use purpose in replace of other words. For example, we can say that our job is our purpose, or a role that we fill is our purpose, like being a mother is our purpose. Those things are not our purpose. Those are things that we bring our purpose to when we do them, when we're in those roles, or no matter what we do for work or what we do for fun or how we engage with the people in our life. Our purpose comes through in all of those environments and all of those contexts, but those things are not our purpose. In our human brains, it's become really easy to tie purpose to these other things so that we might be able to understand it better. But the reality is your purpose is something that you're born with. It's this essence, it's this energy that's inside of you naturally. It's an intention. So it's an intention that you bring to everything that you do. And the word purpose, you can rotate it out for intention, but the important thing to remember is purpose is an intention that your soul is attuned to, meaning your soul is plugged in to this frequency and this way of being. And if we were as children or as a young being, if you took a baby and you said to them, hey, this is your purpose is to make everything in this world beautiful. That's your purpose. Their soul would understand that. They would actually understand that really easily. Our adult brains make it really complicated because we say make everything beautiful. What? That's too simple. How can that be our purpose? And like what am I supposed to do with that? How do I make money with that? And it's not so much about taking your purpose and making it something that is bringing in finances. It's just, this is your energy that you bring to everything. So I just wanted to share that because I think it's important to kind of make that switch in the head, because we do talk about purpose being what you do. Your purpose is what you're here to do. And it's not, you can do nothing and your purpose still exists within you. It may not be coming through you, but it's still there within you. So it's more about you living an aligned life, you taking care of your body and your mind. And then in that way, your purpose will just naturally flow through you, and it will take you to these things in life that will actually amplify it. So rather than it being, I need to find a job that is my purpose, you're actually living your purpose. And no matter what job or what role or what you're doing, your purpose is coming out of you. And the more that you are engaging with that purpose, then the things that you're doing in life will feel better and more easy for you to be in that purpose, in that energy of yourself, of your intention, of your life theme, and it'll just flow in a more easeful way. But it's not actually you needing to find your purpose. When we're seeking our purpose, we're really putting ourselves through this emotional turmoil and this mental insanity because we're trying to seek something that's outside of us. We're looking for that external answer. Our purpose is already within us. We can get validations of our purpose within us through the things in our external reality, but that's not actually where our purpose is coming from. So I just want to distinguish that. Now let's take a moment. I'm kind of taking my fingers like this, a little pinpoint, and just pressing right on that bone, that breastplate. Really, really gentle. This is a very sensitive spot. It might just feel nice to even just take your fingers in this point, which is kind of like how you hold a pencil. Some people, not how I hold a pencil. And you can point, but also just give a little pressure to that area. Because this area right here is kind of where that soul wisdom sits within us. And a lot of times we can open this up and allow it to just fly out of us and be draining out of us. And then we're not aware of it. Or we can have it locked in too tight. Right? We have the burdens of other people or our burdens, our family burdens on our shoulders, and we hunch in and we hide our purpose. We hide that energy that's in us, that special sauce, because it's ours and we can't let anyone take it, and we're scared and we need to live this way and we need to move in this way to take care of these burdens and these things that our family holds, and we need to hide this because this is our secret and something that we don't let out. What we want to do is we want to sit upright. We want to have our belly activated. We want to feel it. We want to breathe into it, wake it up. Breathe out. Feel it contracting and feeling this center balance, feeling this equilibrium within our torso. So giving that little pressure point here on the chest, in the middle of the torso, can bring that reminder of that space and what we're holding there and what we can bring in. And you can explore a little, going side to side, just kind of taking your fingers and tapping on your chest now. Going up to your higher chest. If you want to, if you do have breast, you can use your fingers to tap on your breast, get a little lymph massage going, taking care of that body. You can even venture to go under the armpits. And I just noticed when I went under the armpits, my shoulder instantly raised. Did I need it to raise that high up? Nah, that was a reaction. So just taking note of our physical body. Because in the physical body, we hold all of these stories, we hold all of this wisdom. And a lot of the times, the wisdom can be very fueling and helpful for us. There's also wisdom that we've held on to that doesn't actually support our system and our being. And they're just things that maybe help someone that we knew at one point, and then we took it as it would help everyone experiencing that same thing. It's not necessarily true. So just giving time and space, we welcome the universal energies to move the wisdom within us, to take any wisdom that's ready to go elsewhere, to welcome any wisdom, any little seeds of knowing that are planted inside of us that we've yet to access, allowing those to be watered. And then I'm going to stretch my arms up into the air. You can do this if it feels good to you. And I'm just bringing my hands down and I'm tapping the top of my head. Again, checking in with my shoulders. I just noticed I raised them up when I did this, so letting my shoulders drop. Giving an exhale to let that happen. Checking in with my kind of pendulum swing, seeing if I'm leaning forward or backwards. Just tapping into that feeling of being held up by something else. And then just kind of now moving my hands up from my head and letting things go. Letting those wisdoms go from the brain, letting those logical thoughts about purpose, about why I'm here on this earth, right? We go, traditional schooling in the United States has you going to school to develop skills, to then be able to get back to this planet, and all of that is really focused on your intellect and your brain and using your mind. And we are so much more than that. So I'm putting some kind of rougher pressure on the back of my scalp. Also, if you've ever seen those scalp massagers that are metal, you can do that same thing with your hand, only keep your hand in that claw-like structure and then just kind of push, moving that claw around your head. And again, it's just waking up these little points where you might have things that want to come through. And energetically, as we know from acupuncture and acupressure, from our Chinese medicine realms and other realms, these little, just touching on the body and these points can actually activate a lot of things that are housed inside of us. So we can access the organs that are within us, we can access those tissues, our blood flow, simply by doing very light pressure points all over the outside of our body. Skin is the biggest organ. It carries all this information in, not the skin itself, but the other components within the skin. The neurons, they're just transmuting this information all over. And so when we do something different, it communicates to our body that we're ready for something different, that we're ready for change, that we're ready to accept what is around us and what is within us. Settling the hands on the heart, bringing in some gentle movements back and forth. And you can keep moving Or if you weren't moving, you were sitting still, that's perfect. But if you want to stay moving, you can, or you can find some stillness, resting the hands on the body, resting mine on my knees. And I'm just going to open my mind. So I'm not trying to access a certain memory or thought. I'm more so in my head going to say, I welcome any beliefs, any knowings, any wisdom, any thoughts that reside in my body about purpose. I invite them to arise now. I invite them to come forward. And then I want you to instantly think back to your belly and breathe. This is not the time for those things to actually come to mind intellectually. This is more just the time for you to be speaking with your body, and you're saying, I invite these things to come forward. What we're doing is we're making a little bit of space, a little opening where these things can come through the subconscious into the conscious. Because really, we're not going to be able to change our relationship with purpose unless we're looking at what purpose means for us specifically. We don't want to tell ourselves what purpose means anymore. We don't want to take on other people's definitions or understandings of it. We want to create our own. And so as this is going on, I'm doing some clearing work around this for you to allow things to kind of come through and move a little more easily. Just making that opening can be quite difficult work for us when we've lived a certain way and really programmed in a certain way of being or understanding the world. Our body holds on to that and it imprints it over and over and over again. You can think of a tire on a car. We have to get our tires replaced because they wear down. And that's the same with when you have these thoughts or these things or these beliefs in your being. The more that you believe it, the more that it's there existing in you, it gets imprinted over and over again, and it becomes like this tire where there's no more treads on it. And it's like eroding. And it is just so deeply held in the system. And so for us to create a new track or put on even a new tire, maybe move the tire somewhere else and there's not even going to be a tire there anymore. You know, imagine there being a tire in this one place where it's been grooving away the earth. And then you take that tire away. There's going to be this whole void, this space where the physical tire itself was occupying, but also it's probably ground into the earth a little bit and created some openings there. So that's the same in our system when there's beliefs or things that we've held on to for a long time that we want to change. We're doing that work. We're grinding it up. We're allowing it to be taken and removed, and then we're left with this big opening that we can feed in a new way, or we can not intentionally feed and it will be fed on its own by what is existing within us. And that is why when you are wanting change for yourself and wanting intentional change, because change is going to come for you no matter what, when you're wanting that intentional change, you really need to be active in your mind and in the things that you're bringing forth. And it doesn't have to be this hyper fixation on what you want to come in. It just has to be this awareness on what you want to come in. And then you invite it to be light and playful and fun. And you do all of this by simply declaring that's what you want. And that can help you become more attuned to your purpose because it's bringing you back to this inner connection to yourself and to spirit and to these energies that are around you. So I'm going to invite you to do a little experiment now with communicating with the universe. With this higher intention of purpose unraveling and us getting to know that concept better, I want you to ask for some clarity, ask for some guidance. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to get clear about who we're asking. When we're doing any work in this realm, you want to be, again, intentional about who you're asking. So you could use a term that feels good to you. If there is a god or gods and goddesses that you have in your life, you can use those systems to to access this energy. No matter what, you're going to be connecting in this way through that center cone of your light that comes through your body. I like to attune to love for the highest good. And so I will say, in the name of love for the highest good, I ask the energies that are around me to support me with seeing my purpose in action. Support me with seeing the moments when my purpose is flowing through me effortlessly. Support me in redefining my connection to purpose and how it shows up in my life, how it shows up through me. You may ask anything that is coming to mind for you that you wish clarity on. And then we're going to ask how to receive these messages, or we're going to give a little direction to it. So I would like to gain clarity about my purpose by having it reflected back in the interactions I have throughout my day. So when I'm with another human and I do something that is allowing my purpose to flow through me, I want to feel good. I want to feel alive in my body, happy, joy. Feeling those things will allow me to recognize that in that moment I am tapping into my purpose. And so my job for the next week is to pay attention to when I feel those things, when I feel joy. And when I feel those sensations come into my body, I'm just going to acknowledge what it is that I'm doing. I'm going to acknowledge what my body feels like. What energies am I tapped into? What is the experience that I'm having? So in this way, we are setting up the energy that we're connecting to, love for the highest good. So we're giving definition to the energy that's coming into our body and what we're communicating with in the unseen realm. We are then giving the direction of the information that we wish to receive and how we wish to receive it. And we are then giving the declaration, the commitment, the awareness to the universe of how we are going to show up and work with those energies and respond to them, and how we're going to be aware. How are we going to receive those messages? And then lastly, we're going to give gratitude. So we're going to say thank you. Thank you, love for the highest good. Thank you, energies that are around me. Offering love and protection and guidance. I feel you. I know you. And I look forward to knowing you more. Thank you. And thank you to myself for being here, for showing up, for allowing this relationship with the unseen to have time and space to be acknowledged, to exist, and to be played with. And I thank you for joining, for being part of this experience. And may you have fun moving forward on your week and seeing what purpose is like for you. Let's take a little moment to close up our energy centers. Rest our hands on our body. And giving that gratitude to the heavens, to the land above us, whatever you might call it, and to ourselves, our heart, by bowing into us and bowing to those around us. Thank you.